There's a theory that Peppa has an evil twin sister who lives hidden inside her house. But did you know that now, with the Pig family moving into a much bigger house, the evil twin has the upper hand? That's because if the evil twin really exists, she's definitely moved into the new home. Everything seems to indicate that the evil piglet spent many years hiding in the old house. We believe her name could be Olivia Pig, and we'll explain the reason for that a bit later. We can see this in an old poster of the show where a character identical to Peppa is watching her and her relatives from behind the window of the old house. We never got an explanation for why there are two Peppas in that picture, so it's hard not to see it as a clue that something is very wrong with the Pig family. So yes, there are many chances that an evil twin of Peppa exists, secretly living in her house. But now that the Pig family has moved, you might wonder why we believe Olivia Pig could have managed to move along as well. The thing is, she didn't need to move at all. That's because, in reality, the Pig family didn't just buy another house, they had the old one rebuilt to make it bigger. In other words, the original house was demolished and remade. The evil twin didn't need to do anything other than hide until the new house was finished, and we can be sure that she's more dangerous than ever because the new house is packed with all sorts of new hiding spots. Want to find out more about this? Then grab your popcorn, because another Cinewave is about to begin. Besides being bigger, the brand new Pig family residence is full of new rooms, and one of them is the garage. Before, the car was always left outside the house, but that's no longer necessary since the vehicle now has a dedicated space. But this room is also perfect for Olivia Pig. It's a place full of objects and rarely visited by the family members. They only go there to get into the car or to grab some very specific item that just happens to be stored there. On the rare occasions when they do go in, it wouldn't be easy to realize that the twin is hiding there. She could hear their footsteps before they arrive and hide properly in time. It wouldn't be much of a challenge to hide behind the piles of stuff in the room. On top of that, garages usually stay dark most of the time. It would be very difficult for anyone to find a little girl the size of Peppa in the middle of the darkness. Even if Olivia wasn't hidden when someone walked in, she'd still have enough time to slip behind some junk before the light was switched on. If, in one of the upcoming episodes of Peppa Pig, the characters go looking for something in the garage and can't find it, just know that it might be because evil Olivia took the item for herself. The worst part is that Daddy Pig probably keeps some dangerous things in that corner of the house, like car tools, and it's better not to think about the kinds of wicked things evil Peppa could do if she decided to use those objects to her advantage. Now that the house is much bigger, Peppa no longer needs to share her bedroom with George. He's got a new room of his own. Now all the kids in the family have their own space, except for the evil twin who's always hiding. But something curious is that Peppa still sleeps in a bunk bed. That made sense when she had to share the room with George, but why didn't she get a regular bed now that she's got the whole room to herself? That's the thing. As always, Peppa continues to sleep on the top bunk, while the bottom part now has curtains. Pretty strange, right? Yes, it is. But it would make perfect sense if someone went behind those curtains at bedtime, someone nobody in the Pig family wants to see, Olivia. If that's true, then the mystery of Peppa's twin sister is even creepier than we might think. After all, at first glance, you'd imagine that Olivia lives hidden in the house without any of the Pig family knowing, which is already scary enough. However, if the bunk bed was deliberately left with curtains by the parents, it means the bottom part of the bed was made specifically for the twin. In that case, the characters know she exists and lives in the house. They just don't like her and try to hide her at all costs, both from visitors and from the audience of the show itself. The reason must be that Olivia has always shown herself to be a very mean little girl and already did something so terrible that none of them forgave her. That makes it even more disturbing because everyone knows they're being watched. If you'd also think it would be cool for the show to confirm the evil twin theory, drop a comment down below with #twin. Something that many fans believe is that Olivia feels a deep jealousy toward Peppa, since the star of the show lives an almost perfect life while she has to keep hiding from everyone. Now that Evie has been born, this jealousy must be much worse, aimed completely at the youngest daughter of the family, especially because she already got a room all to herself. Just imagine Olivia's anger when she finds out that a baby has her own bedroom while she still has to keep hiding. Lucky for her, she can spend the nights there whenever she wants, since Evie is far too little to say anything, and the baby will always think that the intruder is just Peppa. Little Evie hasn't even learned how to talk yet, but she's already at serious risk, because Olivia probably wants to get rid of her. Peppa and George must have noticed this, since they showed they are extremely protective of Evie in one of the recent episodes of the show, where the two of them fill the entire house with plastic to stop the youngest from getting hurt. Sure, Daddy Pig had asked them to make the house safe for the baby, but they really went overboard, something that seems to be a consequence of their fear that Olivia might try something against Evie's life. Some people believe kids have a sort of sixth sense, right? So it's not crazy to think that they managed to sense the evil intentions of Peppa's twin sister. These aren't the only places Olivia hides. To spy on her relatives, she moves through different areas of the house. One of her favorites is definitely the basement, especially because that's where she spent most of her time in the old house. Before the renovation, the Pig family lived in a house that was big enough, but it didn't have many corners to hide in. The best hiding spot back then was definitely the basement, for the same reason the newly built garage is also a great place to hide. It was big, dark, and the family members rarely went down there. Now that the house is much bigger, Olivia has many other options besides the basement. But it's unlikely she abandoned the room she used for so long. Mainly because, since basements are always underneath houses, it's possible that she can hear what her relatives are saying from down there. Who knows, maybe she's even able to figure out which room they're in just by the direction of the sound. There's no denying the basement is still very useful. The study of the house, where the computer is, also got a nice upgrade, and it's another place Olivia seemed to visit frequently even before the house was remodeled. In the episode Mummy Pig's Book, we see Peppa and George playing a game on the computer, and the scores of several different accounts show up with names that look like the initials of certain characters. GEO is George, PEP is Peppa, GNP and GD are English abbreviations for Grandpa and Grandma Pig, MMP is Mummy Pig, SUZ is Susie, who plays with Peppa whenever she visits, and OOP is… wait, who would OOP be? Many fans theorize that it's none other than Peppa's evil twin sister, with OOP standing for Olivia Pig. That's why we're calling her by this name. Just imagine if Olivia sneaks out of her hiding spot in the middle of the night just to play a little. She doesn't seem very skilled, since her score is ridiculously low. Or maybe it's because she plays in the dark so she doesn't draw everyone's attention. And honestly, could Olivia even be using the computer to watch this channel too? Oh, and speaking of that, how about subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any of our videos about your favorite cartoons? Among the many additions to the house, one of them is the game room. Okay, this pretty much proves that Peppa's parents are loaded, because not just anyone has a room like this at home. This place wouldn't just be used by Olivia to hide. Even though the twin is evil, she's still a child and must feel like having fun every now and then. After all, she even seems to play on the computer from time to time. So yes, this is another part of the house Olivia sneaks into at night, when everyone else is already asleep. But there's always the risk of her making too much noise while playing in there. Could it be that one day she accidentally wakes Peppa up, and the main character ends up finding her evil twin playing? That would be amazing, because not only would we finally have confirmation that Olivia exists, but we'd also finally discover whether Peppa already knew about her wicked sister or not. Even the family's car was swapped out after Evie was born, since the pigs needed a bigger vehicle so everyone could fit inside it. Everyone, including Olivia. Not that they bought the car thinking about Peppa's twin, but she can definitely take advantage of it. With a car this big, Olivia has everything perfectly set up to hide in the trunk whenever the family goes on a trip. If she really does that, it means her obsession with the pig family is way bigger than anyone could ever imagine. It also means that Peppa will never be able to escape from Olivia because she'll do whatever it takes to always be close to the main character of the show, watching her every possible moment. Can you imagine how terrifying it would be to know there's someone identical to you, spying on you all the time and uncovering all your secrets? If the evil twin theory is true, that's Peppa's life.
A pessoa idêntica a você te espionando a todo momento e descobrindo todos os seus segredos? Se a teoria da gêmea malvada estiver certa, essa é a vida da Peppa.
As creepy as all this already is, there are at least two possibilities. Either the pig family already knows that Olivia lives in the house and pretends she doesn't, or they don't know, but at least have the chance of finding her one day. But there's an even darker third possibility. Not only do the main characters have no idea that Peppa's evil twin lives hidden in the house, but they'll also likely never find her, because she lives in a secret room in the house that even the parents don't know about. That's right, Olivia might be living in a hidden part of the house. Not necessarily a room, but something no one has discovered yet, like a crawl space between the walls or something like that. A bizarre, filthy place where only she would have the guts to live. Just like the basement, this hiding spot is probably useful for Olivia to eavesdrop on her family's conversations without being noticed. If anything, she might even be able to peek into the living room or some other room without ever leaving her spot. Through a tiny hole in the wall, maybe? We've left 2 videos on your screen. You can pick whichever one interests you the most. Thanks for watching, and see you next time!